Okay, well, so, who are you, where do you belong to, and why are you here?
I'm Brian Terrell, and I live at the Catholic Worker Farm, Strangers and Guests, in Malloy, Iowa.
Where's Malloy, Iowa?
In southwest Iowa, about 100 miles southwest of Des Moines.
All right, cool. Cool, and that's a farm, you have a farm down there?
We don't tell our neighbors it's a farm. It's more like a farm in the rest of the world than in the United States.
Yeah, yeah.
Here a farm is hundreds of acres of corn and soybeans.
Yeah, right.
Dairy goats and chickens and
cool.
Very
canning and lots more.
Lots of very varied garden, and do lots of canning and drying and freezing food. So
right on. Yeah, you guys had a good gardening year.
Oh, fairly good.
Fairly good. Yeah, it was kind of dry around here. I wasn't in Iowa, but no.
Actually, for us, it was too wet.
It was too wet. Wow.
Wet and cold in the spring for a long time, and then very, very hot.
Yeah.
So our yield on lots of things are down. But we got a little bit of everything out of it. So.
Cool. Cool. All right. And you're a lifelong activist. You're a lifelong Catholic worker. I mean, we've done a few interviews before. So what's happening with you and your political interests as of the last 18 months, say, or thereabouts?
Well, since I saw you here last year, I was in Afghanistan for 3 weeks.
Yes.
In December. And
who did you go with?
With the Voices for Prayer of Nonviolence, and joined there. Our delegation joined with the Afghan Youth Peace Volunteers, and we saw the effects of the war firsthand as they are unfolding in Afghanistan. We see the effects of the war all around us here too. Most of us don't realize that's what's happening, because our schools are closing and our roads are going unpaved and a post office is closing. It's all less dramatic, but still effects of this war in Afghanistan.
Wow.
So since then, I've been doing a lot of speaking, traveling around, talking about that. And when I saw you here too last year, I just got back from Las Vegas, where I was on trial for protesting the drone warfare, the robotic remote control planes that are now doing much of the fighting in Afghanistan and now Pakistan, Yemen, Libya. And in the meantime, too, I have another case coming up. November 1st, I'll be on trial in Syracuse, New York, protesting the drones. This program used to only be at Creech Air Force Base, and it's expanding. And this place in New York is, these are National Guard soldiers who are flying these drones. And it fits the weekend warriors that people, these planes, pilotless planes take off from the ground in Afghanistan, and once they're up in the air, the control goes to a military base here in the United States. And someone can do their one weekend a month and be actually
and kill a bunch of people for real, not just on video screens.
And be home for supper.
Yes, yes. No blood on anybody's hands, huh?
So that's been taking up a lot of time and my time and attention this last.
How are people responding when you go out there? How are the average American person responding to what you have to say to them?
I think most people are just really tired of the war, and they want it to end. And I think people are mostly very surprised about what I say. I don't get much opposition. And I think the issue with the drones is, what I hear over and over again, is even from pretty well-informed people, is why didn't I know about this? How could this be happening? I don't know about it. So that's an interesting time. But the opposition to the war, unfortunately, I don't don't think people are drawing the connections between what's happening here domestically with us. Members of the Carter administration some years ago were bragging that they had, before we got into Afghanistan, 10 years ago, were bragging that the Carter administration had lured the Soviets into a trap because nobody can win there. And that it was demoralizing and it drained them dry, and in 10 years the Soviet Union was no more.
So what you're saying is that that's in some ways happening here.
Oh yeah. It's no more sustainable. The Soviet Union shared a border with Afghanistan, and they couldn't maintain it, and we can't either. And it just so rarely gets into the conversation as we're talking about the budget. And the Democrats or the Republicans want to say, well, what is obvious, which is standing there right in front of us, is we're trying to fight this obscene war, and the money's evaporating by the millions. And I'm also disappointed to say that many Americans buy the we just love to think of ourselves as the most courageous and generous and beneficent nation that's ever been on earth, and it's very hard for Americans to face that we've been committing terrible crimes. And I'll often hear people who are against the war say we've helped them, and they don't appreciate we have to start thinking about ourselves for now. And I'm glad that people are thinking we shouldn't be there and we shouldn't be fighting, but I think for real healing to happen, it isn't just getting out of Afghanistan. I think we're going to have to take a humbler place in the world, and I think we're going to have to repent, to use a religious word. We're going to have to say, outside of us saying, we've been doing some pretty bad things and we're sorry and won't do them anymore. I don't know what hope there is outside of that.
That's a good way to wrap it up, Brian. Thank you so much. Thank you.